As if this day could not get worse for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, it appears that the Trump White House had accidentally emailed talking points intended for congressional Republicans to congressional Democrats. Talk about oops. Now, this was reported by Politico's Andrew Desiderio and the Washington Post's Jacqueline Alamany. The White House had sent out an email with the header, "What you need to know," to Democratic lawmakers that outlined Republican talking points on that memo between Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky. So now the talking points are what you'll see, right? What you've already started to see from the different Republicans that are defending President Trump. And so part of that was, of course, saying that it's entirely appropriate, and this is what Lindsey Graham had said, for the president to pressure a foreign leader to investigate a political rival. Not appropriate. That's actually a crime, literally. And then saying that, no, the real story here is Vice President Joe Biden's corruption. Oh, no, that's the real story. Oh, okay. Now, the two reporters also revealed that the Trump White House quickly realized its error and sent out a recall. Hey, that email that you got from us, Democrats, that wasn't meant for you. Can we have that back? Can you just delete that email? We'd super appreciate it if you just shut that whole thing down. You hit that just right there, delete button on the email, right there. Hit the button. But no, not the print screen button. No, you don't want screenshot. No, that takes a screenshot. Delete. Delete. Hilarious. I wonder if that's actually happened. That conversation. It'd be hilarious. So now I want to give you the screenshots. Okay, take a look at these. So this is the first one, right? So myth. The president made a mysterious promise to Zelensky in return for Ukraine reviving an investigation into Biden. Fact. No such promise. No, it was more of him like saying, hey, we've been really good to you. Why don't you do me a solid and investigate Biden? Then there's the quid pro quo, which of course is not explicit, but there's a lot of implicit quid pro quo for that military aid. And so you can see these talking points, right? What the president talked about was entirely proper. I would say very, very proper. Yes. Did not mention Rudy Giuliani or Vice President Biden. No, actually, Biden was mentioned by Trump. Although, to be fair, Giuliani was not. Oh, and the real scandal is the telephone call that triggered a media frenzy. Oh, it's the leaker. It's the leaks that triggered the frenzy. So your pretty standard talking points. I've actually got another page of talking points here. Let's be clear. There was no quid pro quo. These are unique circumstances that require the transcript to be released so if the American people are to know the truth. This is just and on that, this is just an example of the deep state. They're going to the deep state. So deep state, of course, conspiracy. So that's great. So these ended up in the Democrats' inbox, and they're like, oh, that's interesting. Now we know exactly what they're going to say. Oops. Now, as far as the legality issue, right? Again, asking a foreign government to do an investigation completely and 100% illegal. That's a crime. Just saying right now. Okay. So now I want to get to some tweets. Because again, this was Desiderio tweeted this out on Twitter, obviously. And so there are some fun responses. I want to read some of them because they're hilarious. His dudeness says, How are they so bad at this? The only people that are actually worse than the Democrats that can somehow, and I'm still skeptical of them being able to pull this out, because they've bungled it so bad before. More. Sean Redacted says, these are bad talking points. Not sure how anyone thought the real scandal is the whistleblower was a good idea. Yep. My name is 4133 says, I can't believe the well-oiled machine would do something like this. And Shadow Sleeper says, best reply I'll ever. And Max Trail finally says, is this that 4D chess they always talk about? Maybe. So now there's a little bit of speculation through some of these comments, and some of it's also on my part, that this was not actually an oopsie. Interesting. What if it was accidentally on purpose? Now, again, we know this is bad. Even their attempt to dress it up, also bad. This is a memo, and this is the best they could come up with. So, what if a staffer says, you know what, I've had enough of this. Sent this to the Democrats to show what their talking points are, to show their ridiculous talking points so that Democrats can come up with a defense or actually attack. Because this is really weak. Again, they used the deep state in there. The conspiracy. That's a conspiracy that a shadowy cabal of people are against Donald Trump. Now, has there been a deep state before? Yes. But as far as a group of people in intelligence that are against Donald Trump and they're trying to take him down from the inside, well, they've been doing a really, really bad job trying to take down the dumbest person to occupy the White House yet. So, congratulations. Because Trump has not been punished for anything, for doing illegal things, which has been shown to have done. And maybe it's because people in positions of power seem to protect him a lot. Maybe that's part of that. But still, man, is this an accident, though, or is it a leak? And that's the question, right? Regardless of the answer, it looks like a pretty bad day for the president. And I cannot wait to see what develops next. Hey, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.